Michael Morgan sitting alongside Paul Semtex Daley in the run-up to his clash with Rory MacDonald. Now, Paul, I have to say, you would have heard these questions a million times. I'm going to try and chop it up, mix it up, change it up ever so slightly today. Now, I have to say, one of the things which has kind of like intrigued, when you're actually working out, training, actually in the gym, what are the sounds? What are actually, what's actually coming through your ears? What's actually coming through the airwaves? Talk me through those top 5 tracks which are actually resonating throughout the gym.
Oh, you want some music? You want the moodzik? Right now, I'm listening heavily to Miss, MIS to the F&T from Birmingham. He's got a lot of big tracks out at the moment. Hot Property. My coach, this is a funny one. My coach, so Rupert has got me onto some Albanian hip hop. Yeah. And these guys have got some tunes. I'm telling you, they got some bangers. So I've been listening to some Albanian hip hop as well. And so we got Mist. We got some Albanian hip hop. So we got Hot Property from Mist. I'll say Let Cella Zone from, I think his name's Onza. Whatever. I like music that takes me back as well. So I got a lot of like DJ Khaled from when I used to train with Melvin in Holland. So like Out Here Grinding with Rick Ross, and there's a few of them on there. And Rick Ross as well. I'm listening to a lot of him. I got a mixture. But so yeah, I'd say Out Here Grinding, Rick Ross, Hot Property, MIST, Let Cella Zone by the Albanian, Gangsters, Onza. Yeah, a few.
So walking out on Friday night, you've got the pick of the litter in terms of tunes. What are you going to actually be walking out to?
We're walking out to Rick Ross, Purple Lamborghini, with Skrillex, which is a banger. And I'm telling you, when that goes off in that Wembley, when it goes off in the Wembley Arena, trust me, the atmosphere is going to lift. No one ain't got a track like that. I'm telling you, it's going to lift the crowd. And it's going to lift me as well. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
I must say there's a change in your demeanour. I've sat through and actually been at so many of your fight weeks, but there's a change in your demeanour. You're a calmer, more almost gentler Paul Semtex Daley. Where is this coming from?
You know what? I found I have to look back at my performances and look back at how I've performed best and what kind of mental state I was in, how everything was in the run-up to it, and I feel like I perform better when I'm in this kind of, I've referred to it in the past, but a mushin, I call it mushin, empty mind, I'm not going in there with any real intentions. I'm just going out there to be the best version of myself. And it's, especially in this fight, Rory's a talented guy. I can't pick him up on anything. He's not really a trash talker. There's no real place for anything like that in this fight. We're just two fighters who are going to go out there Friday, May 19th, and we're going to bang it out.
Now, obviously, Rory came across from the UFC. If you were to actually extol the virtues of Bellator, what would you say is more of an attraction in Bellator, which is sadly lacking in the UFC? How would you sell? Look, guys, the water's warm over here. You might want to come in and get involved.
I think you're allowed to be an individual here at Bellator. You've got more freedom to be yourself. And away from that, I think the guy at the top, Scott Coker, he's bringing the entertainment back to the sport. You got the big pyro entrances, the big LED screen for the entrances, the runway, fun matchups. It's not about favoritism or this or that. It's like these two guys, put them together, it'll be a great fight, and the fans love it. So let's put it together. There's not so much politics here. It's a fun place to be. Like I say, you've got certain freedoms here, and I think that's what's attracting people.
I'm hearing rumblings, though, even though it's a fun place to be. I'm hearing rumblings that for Paul Daley, perhaps there is, how can I put it, there is an exit strategy at play that you kind of like are mapping out your exit from the sport, but obviously not right now. You've got business to take care of, but just talk me through in terms of that exit strategy, what that actually looks like, what that feels like. Is that once you've got gold, how will that exit strategy actually come into play?
Well, I'm here to be a champion. That's the main thing. Before any exit strategies are implemented, I'm going to be the champion. So May 19th, I've got to take care of business. And then from there, I don't want to be in the sport past 35, I don't want to see on the tail of the tape Paul Semtex Daley 36. And I don't think it looks good. I think 35 looks good. So from 35 up till my 36th birthday, you know, I'm happy to compete and do it. But I don't want to be competing at 36. So I've got a lot of things I'm working on. I've got the Spirit Dojo Legacy Gym as well as the merchandise. I've got my promotion, Ultimate Gladiators. I've got a few properties, some investments, stocks and shares, some funds that I'm invested in. I've got things going for me. I'm a smart guy, you know. I know you've got a limited period in this sport, and from what you get from it, you have to make the most of. So that's what I'm planning to do after I exit the sport.
And speaking of the business at hand, speaking to Rory MacDonald just now, he talks about going in on Friday, being the bully, imposing his will, basically putting you in an uncomfortable position. Paul, how do you deal with a bully?
I think Rory's done that in a lot of his fights. He likes to be the bully. You know, he runs out, he takes the center, which I've noticed he does in all of his fights. It's what happens when he can't bully that person. That's what we're gonna see. And in previous fights, he's quit. So we're gonna see what happens. I'm not an easy guy to be bullied. I'm not an easy guy to be finished, and I'm extremely dangerous. And as much as he says he's fought a guy like me, and as much as all of this shit, he's never fought a guy like me. Robbie Lawler isn't me. Tyron Woodley isn't me. Tariq Safdien isn't me. Damian Maia isn't me. You know what I mean? He's fought some good guys, but they're not me. And I feel like he's in for a shock. Really, I really think he's in for a shock. Personally, I think Douglas Lima is a bigger, badder, more athletic, stronger, more intimidating. He hits strong. He's a jiu-jitsu black belt as well. He has wrestling. I don't think there's a scarier fighter out there at the moment than Douglas Lima. And I believe I can beat Douglas Lima. So who am I to fear Rory MacDonald? I don't fear him. And Friday night you're gonna see a lot of confidence, a lot of action, and you're gonna see Rory MacDonald shocked.
Just finally, just before we wrap this up, obviously you could quite easily make a different weight class. Now, a lot of people, you know, are talking about, you know, being a two-weight champion. Is this something that actually attracts you? Are you the kind of like fighter to say, you know what, I want as much gold around my waist as possible?
You know what? It's not in my plan or strategy to go two weights. But I just seen recently, I think it was today, that California are creating another weight class at 175. So, which is only 5 pounds over the weight limit that I fight at now. So if that happens and it goes you know, across the states or across the sports, then definitely I'd compete at 170, 175. In that case, then yeah, I would love to be a two-weight world champion. But going down to 155 and stuff like that, it's not on my radar. Or going up to 185, it's not on my radar. 175 I could do.
Paul Daley, it's been emotional. Good luck on Friday night. I will see you there cage side.